Today is the 27th of August 2010, and this is the 39th time we are talking on the Majjhima Nikaya Suttas. Now we come to Sutta 96, Esukari Sutta to Esukari. That's how I heard. On one occasion, the Blessed One was living at Savatthi in Jeta's Grove, Anathapindika's park. Then the Brahmin, Esukari, went to the Blessed One and exchanged greetings with him. And this courteous and amiable talk was finished. He sat down at one side and said, Master Gotama, the Brahmins prescribe 4 levels of service. They prescribe the level of service towards a Brahmin, the level of service towards a noble, the level of service towards a merchant, and the level of service towards a worker. Therein, Master Gotama, the Brahmins prescribe this as the level of service towards a Brahmin. A Brahmin may serve a Brahmin, a noble may serve a Brahmin, a merchant may serve a Brahmin, and a worker may serve a Brahmin. That is the level of service towards a Brahmin that the Brahmins prescribe. Master Gotama, the Brahmins prescribe this as the level of service towards a noble. A noble may serve a noble, a merchant may serve a noble, and a worker may serve a noble. That is the level of service towards a noble that the Brahmins prescribe. Master Gotama, the Brahmins prescribe this as the level of service towards a merchant. A merchant may serve a merchant, and a worker may serve a merchant. That is the level of service towards a merchant that the Brahmins prescribe. Master Gotama, the Brahmins prescribe this as the level of service towards a worker. Only a worker may serve a worker. For who else could serve a worker? That is the level of service towards a worker that the Brahmins prescribe. What does Master Gotama say about this? Stop here for a moment. So you can see from here, the Brahmins consider themselves as the highest caste. Everybody else can serve a Brahmin. But the noble, everybody can serve a noble except the Brahmin. They think they are higher caste. It's not proper for them to serve a noble or warrior clan person. And then the merchant comes after that. The Brahmins and the nobles should not serve a merchant. A merchant can be served by a merchant or a worker. And the worker is the lowest caste. Only a worker should serve a worker. And the Buddha said, well, Brahmin, has all the world authorized the Brahmins to prescribe these 4 levels of service? No, Master Gotama. Suppose, Brahmin, they were to force a cut of meat upon a poor, penniless, destitute man and tell him, good man, you must eat this meat and pay for it. So too, without the consent of those other recluses and Brahmins, the Brahmins nevertheless prescribe these 4 levels of service. Stop here for a moment. So here the Buddha is telling him, only the Brahmins say this, nobody else says this. Forcing your view on everybody else. And the Buddha said, I do not say, Brahmin, that all are to be served, nor do I say that none are to be served. For if, when serving someone, one becomes worse and not better because of that service, then I say that he should not be served. And if, when serving someone, one becomes better and not worse because of that service, then I say that he should be served. If they were to ask a noble thus, which of these should you serve? One in whose service you become worse and not better when serving him, or one in whose service you become better and not worse when serving him? Answering rightly, a noble would answer thus, I should not serve the one in whose service I become worse and not better when serving him. I should serve the one in whose service I become better and not worse when serving him. Similarly, if they were to ask a Brahmin, a merchant, a worker, answering rightly, they would answer thus, I should not serve the one in whose service I become worse and not better when serving him. I should serve the one in whose service I become better and not worse when serving him. I'll stop here for a moment. So, to give an example, for example, if they were to serve somebody who does not give them any salary, then they become worse for it. But if they serve somebody who gives them a big fat salary, then they become better for it. Then they should serve the one who gives them a good salary. That's in the worldly sense. I do not say, Brahmin, that one is better because one is from an aristocratic family. Nor do I say that one is worse because one is from an aristocratic family. I do not say that one is better because one is of great beauty. Nor do I say that one is worse because one is of great beauty. I do not say that one is better because one is of great wealth. Nor do I say that one is worse because one is of great wealth. For here, Brahmin, one from an aristocratic family may kill living beings, take what is not given, misconduct himself in sensual pleasures, speak falsely, speak maliciously, speak harshly, gossip, be covetous, have a mind of ill will, and hold wrong view. Therefore, I do not say that one is better because one is from an aristocratic family, but also Brahmin. One from an aristocratic family may abstain from killing living beings, from taking what is not given, from misconduct in sensual pleasures, from false speech, from malicious speech, from harsh speech, and from gossip. And he may be uncovetous, have a mind without ill will, and hold right view. Therefore, I do not say that one is worse because one is from an aristocratic family. Here, Brahmin, one of great beauty or one of great wealth, may kill living beings, take what is not given, misconduct himself in sensual pleasures, etc. Therefore, I do not say that one is better because one is of great beauty or of great wealth, but also Brahmin, one of great beauty or of great wealth, may abstain from killing living beings, abstain from taking what is not given, abstain from misconduct in sensual pleasures, etc. Therefore, I do not say that one is worse because one is of great beauty or of great wealth. Stop here for a moment. So here, the Buddha is trying to say, it is not because one is from a noble family or one is of great beauty or one is of great wealth that one is better for it. It is one's actions. If one conducts oneself rightly by doing wholesome karma, the 10 wholesome karmas, then one is better for it. But if one misconducts oneself by doing wrong actions, then one is worse for it. I do not say, Brahmin, that all are to be served, nor do I say that none are to be served. For if, when serving someone, one's faith, virtue, learning, generosity, and wisdom increase in his service, then I say that he should be served. Stop here for a moment. You see these 5 things, faith, virtue, learning, generosity, and wisdom. If you remember, formerly we saw in the suttas, some previous sutta, that the Buddha says, if you want to repay our parents' kindness, we should teach them 4 things. To have faith in the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha, to practice virtue or moral conduct, to practice generosity and not be selfish, and to gain wisdom by learning the Dhamma. Because if we teach our parents these 4 things, then they'll have a good rebirth if they practice these 4 things. But here, the Buddha has added one more, learning, much learning of the Dhamma, having much knowledge of the Dhamma. So these 5 things are very beneficial because they bring us to a good rebirth. So if you serve someone and you attain these 4 things, then you should serve that someone. For example, if you serve a teacher and the teacher teaches you these 5 things, then it's worth serving the teacher. When this was said, the Brahmin Esukari said to the Blessed One, Master Gotama, the Brahmins prescribe 4 types of wealth. They prescribe the wealth of a Brahmin, the wealth of a noble, the wealth of a merchant, and the wealth of a worker. Therein, Master Gotama, the Brahmins prescribe this as the wealth of a Brahmin. wandering for alms. A Brahmin who spurns his own wealth, wandering for alms, abuses his duty like a guard who takes what has not been given. That is the wealth of a Brahmin which the Brahmins prescribe. Master Gotama, the Brahmins prescribe this as the wealth of a noble, the bow and quiver. A noble who spurns his own wealth, the bow and quiver, abuses his duty like a guard who takes what has not been given. This is the wealth of a noble which the Brahmins prescribe. Master Gotama, the Brahmins prescribe this as the wealth of a merchant, farming and cattle breeding. A merchant who spurns his own wealth, farming and cattle breeding, abuses his duty like a guard who takes what has not been given. That is the wealth of a merchant which the Brahmins prescribe. Master Gotama, the Brahmins prescribe this as the wealth of a worker, the sickle and carrying pole. A worker who spurns his own wealth, the sickle and carrying pole, abuses his duty like a guard who takes what has not been given. That is the wealth of a worker which the Brahmins prescribe. What does Master Gotama say about this? Well, Brahmin, has all the world authorized the Brahmins to prescribe these 4 types of wealth? No, Master Gotama. Suppose, Brahmin, they were to force a cut of meat upon a poor, penniless, destitute man and tell him, good man, you must eat this meat and pay for it. So too, without the consent of those other recluses and Brahmins, the Brahmins nevertheless prescribe these 4 types of wealth. I, Brahmin, declare the noble supramundane Dhamma as a person's own wealth. By recollecting his ancient maternal and paternal family lineage, he is reckoned according to wherever he is reborn. If he is reborn in a clan of nobles, he is reckoned as a noble. If he is reborn in a clan of Brahmins, he is reckoned as a Brahmin. If he is reborn in a clan of merchants, he is reckoned as a merchant. If he is reborn in a clan of workers, he is reckoned as a worker. Just as fire is reckoned by the particular condition dependent on which it burns. When fire burns dependent on logs, it is reckoned as a log fire. When fire burns dependent on faggots, it is reckoned as a faggot fire. When fire burns dependent on grass, it is reckoned as a grass fire. When fire burns dependent on cow dung, it is reckoned as a cow dung fire. So too, Brahmin, I declare the noble supramundane Dhamma as a person's own wealth. By recollecting his ancient maternal and paternal lineage, he is reckoned according to wherever he is born. Stop here for a moment. So this Brahmin, they like to classify people according to the caste. If you are a Brahmin, born as a Brahmin, you should wander for alms. If you are born in a noble family, you should earn your livelihood by the bow and quiver, the soldier. And then if you're a merchant, you should do farming and cattle breeding. If you're a worker, you should take the sickle to work and the carrying pole. But the Buddha says that a person's wealth should be the noble or Aryan supramundane Dhamma. So the Dhamma is the best wealth that we can have, like the Aryan Dhamma. So we should acquire this wealth now that we have come across the Dhamma. And this is the knowledge of the Dhamma. We can bring it along when we go for rebirth. And it will help us many, many lifetimes. If Brahmin, anyone from a clan of nobles, goes forth from the home life into homelessness, and after encountering the Dhamma Vinaya proclaimed by the Tathagata, he abstains from killing living beings, from taking what is not given, from incelibacy, from false speech, from malicious speech, from harsh speech, and from gossip, and is uncovetous, has a mind of without ill will, and holds right view. He is one who is accomplishing the true way, the Dhamma that is wholesome. If Brahmin, anyone from a clan of Brahmins goes forth, or from a clan of merchants, or from a clan of workers goes forth, from the home life into homelessness, and after encountering the Dhamma Vinaya proclaimed by the Tathagata, he abstains from killing living beings, from taking what is not given, etc. He is one who is accomplishing the true way, the Dhamma that is wholesome. What do you think, Brahmin? Is only a Brahmin capable of developing a mind of loving kindness towards a certain region, without hostility and without ill will, and not a noble or a merchant or a worker. No, Master Gotama, whether it be a noble or Brahmin or a merchant or a worker, those of all four castes are capable of developing a mind of loving kindness towards a certain region, without hostility and without ill will. So too, Brahmin, if anyone from a clan of nobles goes forth, or from a clan of Brahmins or merchants or workers, and after encountering the Dhamma Vinaya, abstains from killing, from taking what is not given, etc., he is one who is accomplishing the true way, the Dhamma that is wholesome. Now stop here for a moment. So here, the Buddha says, it doesn't matter what caste the person is from, if he renounces and practices the holy life, then he is practicing the true way, the Dhamma that is wholesome. And then the Buddha asked this Brahmin, is only a Brahmin capable of meditating on metta, loving kindness, and radiating loving kindness? But so he says no. Any person from any caste can meditate and radiate metta. So the Buddha says in the same way, anybody from any clan can practice the holy life. What do you think, Brahmin? Is only a Brahmin capable of taking a loofah and bark powder, going to the river and washing off dust and dirt, and not a noble or a merchant or a worker? No, Master Gotama, whether it be a noble, a Brahmin or merchant or worker, those of all four castes are capable of taking a loofah and bark powder, going to the river and washing off dust and dirt. So too, Brahmin, if anyone from the clan of nobles goes forth, or Brahmin or merchant clan or worker clan, and abstains from killing living beings, from taking what is not given, etc., then he is accomplishing the true way, the Dhamma that is wholesome. What do you think, Brahmin? Suppose a head anointed noble king were to assemble here 100 men of different birth. And here the Buddha quotes Sutta 93, where the Buddha says, these 100 men of different castes, and they take different types of wood and start a fire. Is the fire different because they are from different clans? And he says, no, all of them, the fire is the same, doesn't matter what caste that person is from. So the Buddha says, in the same way, if anyone from a clan of nobles or Brahmins or merchants or workers go forth and practices the holy life, he is one who is accomplishing the true way, the Dhamma that is wholesome. And this was said, the Brahmin Esukari said to the Blessed One, magnificent Master Gotama, magnificent Master Gotama. Then he took refuge in the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha. From today, let Master Gotama remember me as a lay follower. Let's go on to him for refuge for life. That's the end of the sutta. So this is another sutta where this Brahmin, they come and tell the Buddha what the Brahmins believe, the Brahmin standard, but the Buddha shows him it's not logical.